Can't tell you how happy I am, how proud of these young men, their coaches. It was a great win for our program, obviously, and I just am very grateful and to all the hard work that these young men and their coaches have put in, and a very satisfying win because I have great respect for Coach Spack and his program here and the things that they do here. And so just very happy today, and they were asking me last week if that was the biggest win. For me it was, but this one's bigger because of who it is and the trophy and all that stuff. So this is definitely my biggest win so far at Easter.
Coach, the last couple of years, last year especially, go 0-3, going to OVC play. Last couple of years, I've had the offer going in. How big is it to be going in 2-1 to OVC play now, and have the two huge wins that you just picked up?
Well, it's obviously huge because we're not 0-3, and we don't have everybody around the country writing about how we can't win a conference game, a non-conference game. We've only won conference games, and so that's big for our program. An FBS win and a Missouri Valley win are huge for our program and where we want to take it.
Addison, do you feel the same way there, that going in 2-1 compared to the last couple of years?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with Coach. I think this is a bigger win than last week, and now our confidence is just through the roof. I think we're getting better every week, and I'm excited to start conference.
And Coach, this week you were talking about how the biggest thing for you guys was to execute. You didn't get anywhere near as many yards as ISU, but was the execution for you guys the biggest thing throughout the game?
Well, it was big, and we didn't do very well early, especially. But that is what it is. But I also told them beforehand, if we win the turnover battle, we win the game, and we did. And so the fact that I think we came up with 3, and did we have a turnover on offense? No, I promised the offense if they didn't turn it over, they'd win. So I'm a man of my word.
And then how important was it, or how big was it? You've gotten the fumble and the field goal there, but you get that touchdown to go up 10-0 instead of a field goal there in the second quarter. How much more important was that to get the touchdown than the field goal?
Well, it's always super important because of the just the point differential, but that and for our psyche of being able to go in and get 7 as opposed to just kicking field goals. Because I knew that if we just tried to match them field goal for field goal, we weren't going to be successful as the day rolled on, because they are a big, strong, physical team. They can run the football. They did a great job. The quarterback did a great job of scrambling. And gosh, I thought he was Michael Vick all of a sudden. We couldn't tackle him, but we found a way to get it done.
You had a couple backside blitzes, one by Seth McDonald that kind of stopped the drive for them, and one by Nick there too. It just seemed like you guys were disguising the coverages enough where you guys get some pressure on Colby and force him to scramble, force him to make throws that he didn't want to throw.
Well, credit that to our defensive staff, Mike Hodges and his coaches, for not only having the blitzes in the package in the game plan, but also calling them at the right time. And then our kids being able to go in and execute those pressures and blitzes and making the play once they got there. And so, it's a lot of credit to a lot of folks.
And then Nick, you guys obviously got the win, but they put up over 400 yards in your offense, 21 points. Looking at all that as one perspective, how do you feel how the defense is?
I think we did great. The end of the game, that was pretty bad. We have to go back to the playbook on that one, and we can't accept that in the future. But the yards, that really doesn't mean anything to us, because we were taught bend. You could bend, but don't break. So you can make it all the way down to the field. He's still going to fight. And I believe they missed the field goal, I think, or something like that. That's not breaking. We saying you're not going to score on us. And that's just how we are. We're coached like that.
And did you feel like that you guys kind of forced them into some of the mistakes they made in some ways?
Yes, definitely. But we're a real sound defense. We're coached very well, and we just execute. So when we execute our job, I don't think there's an offense that can score on us.
Nick, kind of take us through that play there on that sack that you have come around the end. Did the lineman even see you at all? Did you even think he'd see you, or how did you kind of disguise that to be able to get in there as clean as he did?
Just changed up my path a little bit. During the beginning of the game, they were picking me up pretty good, and I noticed that, so changed my alignment up a little bit, and they didn't even account for me, so I just delivered the hit.
Addison, you played some games on this field in high school and probably scored some touchdowns, but that one today a lot sweeter than any of those.
Oh, absolutely. This is much different, obviously, at a college level. Being ISU is, it's a great feeling. I didn't think I would ever be in this situation, so that was a much sweeter touchdown.
It is your birthday, is that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What number?
22.
Okay.
Feeling old.
Ever had a better one than this one?
I don't think so. This is about the best birthday present I could have got. So.
Coach, you also talked about having two quarterbacks ready, and it looks like after that hit Kimball took today, paid off to have Green ready. How do you think he did?
Thought he did fantastic. The thing that we know about Austin is that he's going to go in and he's going to be sound and he's going to compete and he's going to execute our offense, and that's what he did. And I'm proud of the way he, answered the call.
That same drive, I think it was Green's second drive of the game, 3rd and 6. You see on there, and what kind of goes behind the thought of the play call to give it to Devin there? Because you need to run some time off the clock, and you're in field goal range. You get enough yards, you can go for 4th down. So what's kind of the call there? You just
My whole perspective was run clock and not turn the football over. I did not want the clock to stop for any reason, and I also did not want to put the ball in jeopardy at any time. And so I felt like that because we had built the lead, I didn't realize that we were going to give up, those 14 points quite so quickly. But that was basically it. Once we got deep, it was run the clock and run the football, make sure we don't turn it over, and I felt like we had the time to run it out.
And with Devin's touchdown, the last couple weeks said you need to run the ball better. We got to get better at running the ball, and that looked like vintage Devin Church right there.
Yeah, I don't know how many yards he rushed for, but I was proud of the way he ran the football all day long. The other thing was we had no fumbles, contact fumbles, things of that nature. They protected it. They ran hard. Devin, obviously, he's a seasoned back. He's a senior captain, and for him to go in and carry the load like he did today, very proud of him.
Nick, what was your guys' game plan with Anthony Warren? Because you guys had, until like their drives late, you guys had him covered up pretty well, and he wasn't making too many plays against you guys at all.
We just always were where he was in the field. He came to the boundary a couple times and he lined up to the field. At the end of the game, he's a great player. He made great catches, and honestly, I think it was good defense, and we couldn't do anything about it. He just made a great play.
Coach, on Stone Davis's interception, just how good of a read was that by him? Because it seemed like he read that perfectly, made the break perfectly.
Absolutely, he did what he was coached to do. He let his instincts take over, and he played without fear and broke on the ball. And I was really proud of that. I think quarterback was out of the pocket towards him, so he sat on the route. That's what a good DB does.
Last week you were saying the team picked up a big win, but still has a ways to go. Does it still feel like that way here? Like you picked up another big win, but you still have work to do, and you're still not where you need to be yet?
Oh, absolutely. We can be so much better. We can be better running the football. We can be better throwing it and catching it. We defensively, we can be better at stopping the run. We gave up a lot of run yards, and kicking game wise, we can continue to. We need to become a little more explosive in the kicking game on our return game and stuff. But I thought hats off to our kickoff team. They did a great job today, and our punt team being able to get out there and know when pressure's coming and get that ball off. And Cody Edwards has really done a heck of a job for us. Nick Bruno's done a heck of a job for us kicking off, and so really proud of those kicking games.
And Addison, the onside kick that you caught there, line drive right up there. That can be tricky right there, but did you see it perfectly?
Yeah, it took a pretty good hop for me. It kind of came up right to my chest. They were a little tricky with where they were going to be kicking the ball. I wasn't really sure, but as soon as I saw it all hit off the ground, I knew it was going to be right to my chest. So.
Thanks, guys.